All right, you know how we do things on this show. We always, always, always thank those who serve. We'll never get tired of doing it. Thank you for all of you who are serving right now, and for our beloved veterans, those who put on the uniform, those who took up arms in service of our country. We thank you so much. We love you. And if you are a vet right now, this interview is for you, because if you are a veteran overwhelmed when it comes to navigating through the very treacherous waters often of the benefits process, there is a Veterans Boot Camp. It takes place on May the 15th through the 17th at the Chalampago Mayor's Office from 5:30 in the evening. It's a couple hours long, but it's going to give you information that you need to use. I know we need to get these benefits to you if you are a vet of any branch of service, because you certainly deserve it. I have here Vince Borja and Jen Paz. Santa Rita Pete, by the way, is a veteran. Pete, thank you for your service as always, man. We appreciate it. And Vince, thank you for your service as well.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and Jen, did you serve?
Oh, yes, I did. 20 years active duty. Retired Army.
There, 3 armies.
Yes.
Oh,
Three soldiers in the house and everything. First of all, thank you all for your service. Even Santa Rita Pete, Air Artillery, too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I think God bless the two of you, and I know you're representing many people that realize that there is a deficiency in our community, sadly, that vets aren't able to get the benefits that they so richly deserve as quickly as they need them and everything. So Vince, what gave rise to the motivation behind this whole program?
Well, you know, I served and I got out, and I have gone through the process. Luckily for me, I was able to do it in the States, or actually as I was leaving the military, where they pretty much kind of held our hands and ensured that I had somebody who kind of supervised the entire process. But coming back to Guam and meeting a lot of other veterans who got out and didn't go through that, had that same luxury of me having somebody help me through that process. A lot of them attempted to try and get their benefits and have gone to like the ASIN office or Citizen office, who most would give up because it could be confusing. Because one, you have all these different offices that should provide, I mean, the stuff that we provide, which is really just, you just go here, or you can go on the website and fill out the information. It requires different things depending on what type of account you have. But yeah, that you know, meeting a lot of people, especially my generation, and then meeting this group, and now being a part of the group, and meeting a lot of our elders, especially the Manamco, the ones who served in the Vietnam War, who probably applied for benefits 20, 30, 40 years ago, probably got denied. But there have been a lot of changes. The process has evolved. A lot of things that you couldn't claim back then, you can claim now. And so it takes a lot of effort and a lot of education. And so that's where we come in, and that's where I wanted to come in and share my experience. I'm very technologically savvy, and so it helps to have that experience and to help, especially our elders who really struggle with technology.
I gotta say, Vince, if you can bring your Instagram savvy to this group of veterans, and you know, I mean, really communicate with them, and you know, reach out to them, establish that, you know, that direct connection with them, and because you're very, very good on Instagram, this is a way that we can definitely make some progress. And Jen, again, such wonderful work that's being done, and sorely needed, because I mean, not to criticize, but this is almost like against the anaphemaulic virtues that we as Guamanians like truly believe with every fiber of our being is really helping our neighbors.
Yes, I got motivated to help out. So I came back on island around June 2021. My official retirement date was August 1st of that year. And when I met this group, HMI, I actually attended Boot Camp 12, and I saw the need and the number of people that attended, and I saw the process of the struggle of what they were going through, and I was like, wow, I really need to come and help out.
So essentially you went to boot camp twice. You did it first when you went through basic training, then you went to this boot camp. So, no, I think that's a wonderful marketing device to tell people. It's like, hey, vets, you got to go through boot camp one more time, but this one is going to connect you with the benefits that you have.
Yeah, well, really the benefits you deserve, because that's the other thing too, and like that's really our message, because that's the other thing, or those are also the other people that we want to really connect with, are the ones who feel like, you know, they're not worthy enough, or their service was not worthy enough of trying to get the benefits that is available to them. Right?
I've heard that from some, and they were like, you know, I only served like 2 or 3 years. I was only like an E2 or an E3 and everything. But no, everybody who served is worthy.
Definitely. And so, you know, hopefully we can connect with those, and they're listening and they're watching, and we encourage them to come to the boot camp and just listen. And, you know, I think at the end of the day, especially those that have medical conditions that maybe that's the other thing too, is that you didn't necessarily have to get injured during their time in service. It helps to support the case, but there are things that maybe you may have twisted your ankle and it wasn't a big deal then, and then maybe it got worse over time, and you did something when you got out that probably irritated it, and now it's a big issue. And so
Or
those-
PTSD. I mean,
Yeah.
it may not be a physical injury, right?
that's the other thing, right? And that you're right, like the non-physical, you know, what am I trying to say?
The lingering trauma. And, mental health is such a wide spectrum right now.
Yeah, and so, like,
many
for-
of our vets have this.
So like for me with PTSD, right, it's like, of course, when you're in the military, you feel like the way your emotions are and the way your mental health is, that's the way it's supposed to be, right? Especially when you move up in the ranks, you become a leader. You have to be stronger than those that, that report to you. And so you think that that's supposed to be the way. Then you get out of the military and you come home and you transition into a civilian life where those feelings are not the mental state that you needed to be. The fight or flight, right, mentality in the military is not something that you need to have in the civilian world. And so that transition, like, that's where you need to get connected, because there are going to be a lot of issues that are tied to that you don't know exist until something bad happens, and then you go off on your mom or you go off on your friend, or you're driving on the road and you want to avoid like a bag. I mean, I still do it, right? And you don't realize how much that affects you, because you think that that's just the way you're supposed to be, but that's not.
Well, let me pose this question to Jen, because I've done several interviews, like especially in the last year, about reaching out to vets, and a lot of vets, for whatever reason, are a little bit bashful. They can say, like, again, they may think like, I'm not worthy, I don't qualify for this. But for the ones who aren't able to, like, make that first step and say, like, yes, I need help, or I would like to know what resources are available to me, Jen, make that case to them about why they should come forward and just say, yes, I need to be part of this community.
So when you come to our boot camp, we say, you serve, you deserved, right? Injuries come in many forms, and especially sometimes, physical, mental, and sometimes you may not be having the issues while you're in, and after you get out of service, then you have the issues, and it's affecting not just you, but your social impact with your family, your relationships, and also it's affecting your ability to maintain your job and to be successful. So what I would like to plead for those that they don't feel like they deserve, or that even if they've tried and applied before and got denied, please don't give up. You're doing this for yourself, and if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for your families, because they too, sacrifice while you were serving. They sacrifice when you were gone, or while you were in training. They sacrifice. Also, if they don't feel like their family deserves it, then do it for your fellow veterans. We need your assistance, and also getting our numbers out there so we can get the care that we need, the specialists that we need, and the more we can put our numbers, and then we will have the medical services that we need on Guam.
And thank you, Jen, for saying that about please do not give up if you are a vet, because I know a hallmark of anyone who ever wore the uniform in any branch of services, you never leave a man behind. And it's wonderful that veterans like yourselves are reaching out to anybody whoever served, that you would come forward and be part of this, because it's very, very worthwhile work. All right, we got to run, but Vince, where is the best place, aside from your wonderful Instagram? How can people get in touch with you and find out more about
you
this
can
boot camp?
you can find us on Instagram as well. It's
There you go.
HMI Guam, and then we have a Facebook, HMI Guam, as well. The website is in construction, but it should be launched in the next month, hopefully.
How about for the old school, like the radio operators who just like want to use like the old school phone?
Well, in the phone number, you can call 671-685-1781, and we can add you to a group chat. The one thing that I want to add as we close, though, or if we're closing, is really the one thing about our boot camp that is really special that you won't get anywhere else, is that we have coaches, people like us, people that have been through the process, that will walk you through the entire process. Because the biggest problem that most veterans have is, like, when they get a denial letter, and they don't know what to do. And so what we do at HMI, and what we do with the coaches and people that have been trained to look at these, is that we look at the denial letter, we see why you got denied, and then we work with you to submit an appeal. Or if you've never been denied and you're trying to file for a disability or to file a claim, we look at your records. We help you get your records if you don't have records. We help you create your accounts. We walk you through the entire thing.
There you go.
And that's really that's what makes this group special. Because I mean, if you're just going to do all the basic stuff, you can go to Tizen, you go to ASEN, and they'll help you, but they're not going to give you that one-on-one. There's all kinds of different things that we do to help them pretty much hold your hand. We don't want to, but there are some that really need that, because that's why they give up, is because they get confused. There's just so much information. And so we recommend people to just contact the organization, contact one of the officers. And it really is just, it requires, especially if you have a complicated situation, is that we have to, like, there's no one set solution. Like, it's not like we're going to give you a PDF and that you're going to follow those 3 steps, because every situation is different.
All right, so thank you once again, Jen and Vince. Never leave a man behind, of course, and please reach out. Vets, you got to go to boot camp one more time, and this one is really gonna
Yes,
benefit you.
Chalampago.
There you go.
Chalampago, Mirasan.
There you go. All right, Nihinzai KUM is coming up next.